Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Blacklights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Cholula. Hello, Cholula lady. It is the extra hot, and I don't exaggerate when I say that nearly every chili head I know of, or anyone that even likes to have a Mexican style sauce on their breakfast foods, for instance, has been waiting for this sauce. This has been one of the more urgently desired. People are very, very interested in having this available. This is, the clamor isn't really for, and I've done a lot of their other variations. The clamor was not for the sweet habanero. The clamor was not, where it was a pineapple habanero. That was not the clamor was not for the tequila lime variation. And you can check out all the ones that I've done if you click on the link for the written review available in the description down below on this one, and then just go, it'll take you to the blog. You can sail through the table of contents and see what you can see. But this has been something that I think has been something definitely that I have been wanting this for at least, well, I mean, over 30 years at this point. Since the 90s, when I was eating, I had occasionally, I would have a little bit of ranch. I've told this story before in the videos, a little bit of ranch, and then a whole lot of the regular Cholula. And that was my salad dressing. That would be my salad dressing. And so I had a lot of Cholula, to the point where it's not as bad as it is now with me and sriracha, where I'm just exhausted of that flavor. But Cholula is not something that I generally have very much of anymore, and haven't for, probably a couple decades, just because there's so much other stuff that I find that I'm more interested in. But I won't turn this down. Like, if I see this, if I'm having breakfast at a restaurant or something like that, I know I can rely on this. This is a good standby sauce, the regular Cholula. And I've told the story in the blog and some of the reviews before about how I got on the trail of creating content around spicy foods and sauces, and just that whole portion of it. Obviously, it's been something I've been interested in for, at this point, the overwhelming majority of my life. But as far as doing it in a visibly online sort of thing, I hadn't really, the idea hadn't really struck me until I saw a blog that Scott Roberts used to do. He hasn't done it for a very long time now. He's doing religious stuff, I think, still. And so that was what kind of just kickstarted me into that whole side of things. And one of the comments that he made, and I've still not forgotten it to this day, was Cholula was a great example of a high quality mass market sauce. And that is not anything I've ever had occasion to disagree with for over 30 years running. I mean, they just do a fantastic job with what they're doing. So, yeah, we'll shake it well. Yeah, we will. We can see it is still it's supported by McCormick, and it's a product of Mexico. Maybe McCormick owns it by now, I don't know. So we've got water, peppers, arbol, and piquin. We've got salt, acetic acid, the vinegar part of this, xanthan gum for the thickener, natural flavor, spices, garlic powder, and we also have some apple cider vinegar there towards the end of it a little bit. I think the idea being, I'm assuming, is to sort of smooth out the flavor a little bit. It doesn't really need it, though. So this, like regular Cholula, is a fine flavored hot sauce. This took regular Cholula from basically having, it's a sauce that tastes really good, but there's almost no heat to it. It has taken that and moved it into a sauce with a very slight amount of heat. Very, very slight. But it is there. And piquin's, I think, a very underused pepper. I tend to like the flavor of that quite a bit. The classic Cholula flavor is there, though. There's no mistaking what you have here. It is a slightly bit more abrasive. It tastes a little bit more acidy, which I'm guessing is probably the combination of the acetic acid and vinegar. But you can see it looks more or less like Cholula. It's a little bit paler, I think, than Cholula tends to run. Cholula tends to run, I think, a little bit dark towards a more of a darker red. But I don't have any here where I could do it side by side. But that's just me going off memory. It is not. I actually prefer my Mexican sauce to be a little bit darker, a little bit closer to red. But again, that's just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with the visuals of this sauce, in my view, at all. Does have a little bit of the old xanthan gum jiggle there. Yeah, looks good enough to eat. So let's do that. Yeah, very nice, very tasty, very low heat. What heat is there is immediate. There's no mistaking that it's meant to be hotter than the regular sauce. It's just, it's fairly low. But it is more than the regular sauce. So I really wish, man, I wish this would have been around then. This was one of those, I said on the blog as well, this was one of those snap purchases. So there's a few things that come across that as soon as I see them, the instant I see them, I'm hitting that buy button. And this was unquestionably one of those sauces because, like I said, it had been one that I personally have been waiting for. Again, I've kind of moved past Cholula a little bit, I think. No, I think I definitely have. But me back then was waiting for this and waiting for this and waiting for this. And even though I'm not really of that mindset anymore, as soon as it came out, I was like, yep, we are right there. We are right there, primed and ready for action. So what I got today is, so I don't know, I imagine they're probably where you are, wherever that is, but the molcasalsas came out around, I started first seeing them where I am. They've been in California, I think, forever, but they started coming out where I am. I think I first started coming across those in the later 90s, mid to later 90s. And they had carne asada plates. They come in styrofoam. You get a whole bunch of chopped steak. This one, obviously, it's just a skirt steak that they didn't chop. That's fine. I'll do that myself. You get beans there and there. You get rice. You can see the rice is here. Beans are right on the edge. And you get lettuce. And also, and of course, the price of this, like everything else, has gone up. Still, so this was $13. You get these two generally massive tortillas with it. And, oh yeah, look at that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or ma'am, whoever's watching this. Yes, indeedy. Yes. That out of there. So the nice thing is that if this is, look at how big these things, like they're always just gigantic. If this is too big to have at once, you can always take one of those out and make yourself a second burrito, chill it, and then just have it later. So we'll put that there for now. We've got, they gave me 3 steaks. Hey, look at this. 3 steaks. All right. And what is this? They put it right in the lettuce, so lettuce is kind of wilted now. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to do some, let's get some benchmarks here. See what we're dealing with. We'll get to the steak in a second. All right, rice. It's fine. Pretty bland. Beans. Fine. Also pretty bland. This is, I went to the place, there used to be a place closer to me, but that's gone. So I went to the next closest place to get this. It's basically just a carne asada plate. And, let's see what we have here. This is an interesting approach to the carne asada. I like the other one better because you get more caramelization. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut all three of these up. Being that it's Cinco de Mayo as I post this, although I think that's so from the Mexican friends that I have from Mexico, that's more of a big deal, I guess, in America than it is in Mexico itself, which I guess isn't too surprising. It's treated here in a lot of circles that I know of as a drinking holiday, and you know, we definitely love those. We love those here in America. Chance to drink some American beer, Mexican beer rather. Well, actually, you know, the way that they've consolidated so much stuff, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe that's not, maybe it is basically American beer at this point, I don't know. I think Corona owns most of a lot of them. I don't know if they own all of them, but if I could ever find Carta Blanca, that's my favorite Mexican beer, I would have. That one's a little bit hard to find. I actually have to go to a separate state to get it. If I would have found some of that in time to do this video, locally that is, I'm not driving across state lines. I like it, but you know, that's a bit much even for me. If I happen to be there for a different reason, sure, but. Okay, let's put that there. All right, so let's, so what we need to do now is we're just gonna sauce up the rice, sauce up the beans, lettuce too, I guess, why not? And we'll sauce up the carne asada. All right, now we're gonna get a new benchmark again. Carne asada with the hot sauce. That's nice. I'll have to put some more in the burrito though. With the rice. Better. This rice isn't very good. Almost tastes like it got a little too close to some Fabuloso. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do what I mentioned before. I'm going to make 2 burritos here. Have one now. Now we'll have one. These are probably gonna be too big for me to we'll throw a little bit of the rice on there. Let's see, this one, we'll throw the lettuce on this one. I'm not actually gonna keep that rice though. That's once I'm done with that. And the beans and the cheese. I don't know if I like these tins better or if I like the styrofoam better. All right. Okay. Okay. I'll try to wrap these while they're still a little bit warm so they can hold their shape a little bit better. Okay. All right. Here we go, the Cholula burrito. They warm these tortillas on the flat top, and you can tell. Delicioso. That's so good. I thought those were the napkins that were closer to cloth, but they're not. I usually don't eat the entirety of one of these combination plates when I get them. That's just lovely. But I know a lot of people feel that you kind of have to have them right away before the tortillas get cold. So why I wrap that one up. I will have that one tomorrow. It's such a simple thing, heating up the tortillas on the flat top like that, but man, does it make a difference. This is mostly the beans. I'm getting into a little bit of lettuce now. Beans, the carne asada, the flat top tortilla, and the Cholula. It is a magnificent combination. And I am certainly an enjoyer of Cholula on breakfast foods as well. I wish this carne asada was, it's fairly tender. I just wish it was caramelized more. Cutting it as thin as that they did, though, it's a lot of the other places will serve it to you chopped. Which now makes me wonder if I should have just got a burrito. A lot of this, you gotta watch some of those places though, because They'll just put cheese and carne asada, and that's it. That's the entire burrito. They're still big, but I want to be able to try it with rice and beans as well. I guess I could get a salad and some ranch, even though I haven't really done that combination since I was in college. I've been out of it quite a while now. Outstanding work. I really wish the rice didn't have an off flavor to it, but and I say it reminds me of Fabuloso because that's what I use in my own kitchen. And that's just kind of what it reminds me of. Fabuloso has a pretty distinctive smell, if you're familiar with it. Not saying that's what happened, it's just a sort of chemically odd flavor to it. So the rice is a bust. And I don't know about this new place, actually. The beans and the tortilla and the flavor of the steak is good. I just, like I said, I prefer it the other way. But, you know, they're not all going to be great. I mean, I essentially got 2 entire meals. Ew. I think this one had some guac on it. Gross. Two entire meals for, $14. Like I said, I got a whole other ass burrito right here for tomorrow. That one doesn't have lettuce. So we'll be able to pop that baby in the microwave and go to town. Okay, so was this everything I was hoping for now that the extra hot Cholula is here? Yes and no. I do like the little bit of heat push there. It's not past a 1 for me, but I quite like it. It's a good solid round heat. It uses, you see chiltepin used a lot. This one uses the piquin, and both of them have a good flavor, I guess. And this is just another sort of angle, I guess, and some commonly used peppers from the region. So it is slightly more abrasive than I would want. One of the nice things about Cholula regular is I think it's pretty embracing, which makes it pretty universal. I think this actually has taken some of the universality out of Cholula. And it is, like I've seen people, and I think I probably have as well, use Cholula on like pizza, and you could use this in ramen noodles. That's another fairly ubiquitous use for it, for regular Cholula. This one, it's a couple steps down for me just because it is much more abrasively vinegar than I feel like the regular is. I do, like I said, I do like the little bit of heat push to it. And I kind of wish, you know, I think the propensity with people making sauces is sometimes they're like, we have to change everything. And it can't resemble the other thing at all. And I kind of wish they would have just taken a different tactic and just said, it's just like the original, only slightly hotter. Or extra hot if you prefer. This is a sauce that I don't know why it took them so long to do, because I think this is a sauce they needed to do. And, you know, a lot of other national brands have beaten them to that punch over and over again. We saw it with Crystal, we saw it with Frank's. And those are more Louisiana style, Mexican style sauce to be sure. But Tamazula has a regular and they have a extra hot. Valentina, same thing. They've got a regular and extra hot. So I don't know. I think they're kind of the king of that market. But that was always, I think, a pretty substantial desire with a lot of people that really like Cholula and just wanted to have a hotter version of it. So I'm glad they finally did it. It is not wish fulfillment. I guess I can't say that it is that. But I am happy with what they came out with here. I think it's a pretty solid product. Interestingly, it is twice as expensive as the regular Cholula, which to me sort of pulls down the value a little bit as well, because I don't know that it really justifies that kind of price. But, you know, Cholula has earned their name and their reputation out there. I think everything is distinctive, from the lady on the bottle to the neck wrapper to the wood grain cap thing. They just do a very orchestrated job with packaging, and in this case, I think the sauce has come a lot closer to living up to some of what they were angling for than some of the other variations. I'll just put it that way. And we're just going to leave it right there. So that was the Cholula extra hot sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.